This is my mama and papa with all my aunts and uncles. None of them are the same shade. This is me and my cousins when we were little. And none of us are the same shade. My mama and papa and me and my first cousins and my brother down at the bottom right. None of us are the same shade or have the same hair. I'm not finna argue with these people. I'm done. I'm good over here.
If you gotta come on the internet and prove that you're black by posting your grandparents, your great-grandmother, your grandmother twice removed, your Aunt Ethel, to prove that you're black, then maybe you're not black.
You base that off the color of the skin?
No, it's ancestry.
So
It's ancestry. However, looking at people, right, 90% of the time would without question identify or help you identify the race.
Because if you don't look black, you're not.
Hey guys, welcome back to At Liminal Period. It's your girl, Chun-Li Shoddy. As you guys can see, today I want to continue the conversation on race. This video is currently going viral on TikTok, and I thought it was a great way for us to continue the conversation that we started last week. If you guys haven't done so already, please do check out my video that I did on The Cut where mixed children were interviewing their parents, as well as my video on Coleman Hughes and his interpretation of color blindness. Anyways, getting back into it, I thought this was a very interesting conversation that's happening on TikTok because if you guys aren't aware, the lady on the screen identifies as being black, and that is because she is of Creole descent. I'm not sure how many of you guys know what Creole is. However, my understanding prior to making this video was someone of European and African descent. When I was working on this video, I noticed that she's very specific in saying that she is Louisiana Creole. And so I did a little bit of research, and let's hear a little bit about it. But before we do that, let's watch her video and hear some of the pushback that she's receiving.
This is me and my dad. Creole. Now this is my dad's brother. Creole. Same parents. My mama and my papa. And this is my mama and papa with all my aunts and uncles. None of them are the same shade. This is me and my cousins when we were little. And none of us are the same shade. My mama and papa and me and my first cousins and my brother down at the bottom right. None of us are the same shade or have the same hair. I'm not finna argue with these people. I'm done. I'm good over here.
If you gotta come on the internet and prove that you're black by posting your grandparents, your great-grandmother, your grandmother twice removed, your Aunt Ethel, to prove that you're black, then maybe you're not black. Because if you don't look black, you're not.
See guys, and this is one of the reasons why I said in the last video that I never walk around and say that I'm black. I understand that I am not perceived to be black, and therefore, how would I genuinely be able to say that I have had the black woman's experience? So anyways, I think it's a very complex conversation, and we're going to continue to unpack it as we dig a little bit more into what Creole is.
Because if you don't look black, you're not.
Creole people are a relatively old group that began to form in southern Louisiana in the late 1700s when French settlers began mixing with the African slaves in the region, creating a mixed-race population. This originally small group of mixed-race people were seen as free people of color, and even further intermixing with Native Americans also commenced. After Louisiana was ceded to Spain, many Spanish and other European settlers also intermarried with the Creoles. The genetic makeup of Louisiana Creole people varies greatly because of the geographic spread, but on average they're 56.2% African, 34.7% European, 6.7% Native American. This gives Creoles a gene pool that is majority African, as could be expected, but they have a much higher percentage of ancestry from Europe and Native Americans when compared to other black Americans.
I don't know anything about being Cajun. All of that may be true, but what I do know is that a large part of race is how you are perceived. If your entire life you were perceived as white, regardless of your ethnicity, then you navigate the world as a white person. You reap the benefits of being a white person. People see you as white. People treat you as white. I'm not arguing whether or not she has black ancestry at all. I'm just saying that visibly, she is not black. If we never heard her accent and you placed her anywhere else, people would see her as white. We directly contribute to the erasure of black people when we consider people like that black.
First off, let me say something. I never was treated white my whole life because everybody knew my family. And where I grew up, they all knew I was black. So that's what I'm saying. Stop speaking on people you don't know and what you don't know about, because you say you don't know about Creole. You said you don't know about that, about Louisiana. So mind the business that pays you. You not feeding, fucking, or financing me, so don't nobody care. So you want to hop on this other girl horse? Let me help you out, baby. Go over there and leave me the fuck alone. And yes, I may be white presenting, but I'm not a passe blanc. And since you don't know Creole, let me explain to you. Passe blanc means pass for white. I don't pass. I never did, baby. Check yourself, honey. Don't check me.
So I think it's really interesting to argue how you assume someone was treated growing up or how you assume someone was perceived growing up when you weren't in that area, because Creole is a distinct culture. You know, you have Creole and you have Cajun. Like a lot of times, like I might not be able to tell the difference, but if you ask a Creole person, they would be able to tell you what the difference is between them, someone else that is just biracial, and someone that is Cajun. So I think for that girl who was sitting in her car to tell this woman that a part of being black is how you perceive by America, I think that is just a very sad thing to say. I know that's how she actually feels. And that's sad because, once again, for a group of people who always say they don't want to be judged by their outside or judged by the cover of the book, they're constantly doing that to themselves and to others. And when I say they, I don't just mean black people. I mean people, once again, who claim that they don't want to be judged. Anyone that might be. But whatever it is, it's just people that don't have that same energy as what they expect from the world around them. I want to share a perspective, a black conservative perspective actually, because I think what his take is actually very interesting. As I was trying to process and wrap my mind around this video and why I'm so uncomfortable with the topic, I felt like what he said here made really good points. Let's hear him.
Pure bloods have spoken out, okay? They've said, hey, listen, you ain't black, okay? And the reason why you ain't black is because you got a lot of white blood, okay? It's like the reverse one-drop rule, you know, the rule they used to use to identify, you know, who's black back in the day, okay? You know, if you got one drop of Negro blood, then therefore you are black, right? You ain't white. This is the reverse. This is, well, if you got one drop of Caucasian blood in you, and you look Caucasian, then therefore you ain't black, okay? You can't sit with us. Which, again, I think is hilarious, okay? I think that the modern-day race conversations that these people have, the obsession with race, is absolutely hilarious to me.
Y'all, I said I wasn't gonna cry, but listen, I'm at work, and I seen a bunch of videos people did on my behalf, and I want to thank y'all, not just y'all, but all of my supporters. That's why I'm in tears, because as much as people can hate on me, they got a lot of people out there that really love me, that really fuck with me. I was here trying to make a video of my lunch today, and I don't even know if I can finish making it because I'm sick to my stomach. I don't even want to eat. I'm tired of getting the fucking attacks and having to defend myself. I'm tired. I never said I was 100% black. I told y'all what I was mixed with. I'm multi-ethnic, and stop saying I'm biracial. I am not biracial. Both of my parents are a la black Creoles. They're not.
Okay, so one of the things I think that make this conversation very confusing is the fact that ethnicity and race are both social constructs, and they're very similar. However, they are different. Okay, and I think it's confusing because we sometimes refer to black as a race, and sometimes we refer to it as an ethnic identity. Let's get back into it.
I'm tired of getting the fucking attacks and having to defend myself.
I'm tired. I never said I was 100% black. I told y'all what I was mixed with. I'm multi-ethnic. And stop saying I'm biracial. I am not biracial. Both of my parents are a la black Creoles. They're not. I don't have a white parent and a black parent or a Chinese parent and another. I'm not biracial. I'm multi-ethnic. I was raised to be black. I was raised as a black woman. So I don't care.
That part. When she says she is raised to be a black woman, she was raised to be black. I'm curious as what does that mean exactly? Because I mean, again, like maybe everyone around her and her entire family present more black and she's just more fair skinned. I think it's like very interesting because again, like not all black households are the same. You can have Hillary Banks and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and you can compare that to Steve Urkel and Family Matters. And are they being raised in the same type of family? Are they being raised in the same type of dynamic and understanding all the ins and outs within the same culture? Maybe and maybe not. I don't know. Okay. And I say, I question this when she say, and I'm not questioning her, I'm just questioning the idea of what does it mean to be black, because once again, we have people like Dr. Umar Johnson who don't recognize certain individuals as being black because of their mindset. So what does she mean when she say I was raised to be a black woman?
What y'all say, it don't matter. I know who I am. Y'all can't come on here and tell me, and I don't give a fuck what you think. If I tell you what I'm telling you, that's because I've been living me for 45 years. How dare y'all come around here fucking with me? I don't fuck with nobody like that. I'm a good, kind-hearted person, but y'all won't even fucking think. Y'all just want to shoot jabbing at me, talking about what y'all think, what y'all think, what y'all think. It don't matter what you think. It is what it is. How about that? But I ain't even going to focus on y'all negative-ass motherfuckers. I'm about to start blocking people. But to y'all that rock with me, and that love me, I love y'all to death. Y'all are like family to me. And I'll be a ride or die friend for y'all.
Now look, his video is not to get into the nooks and crannies of whether or not she's actually black. Okay? Quite honestly, I don't know and I don't give a damn. Okay? I really don't. I don't care. Okay? But I just want to know, right? This is the whole reason I'm making this video. The reason why I was laughing as she was giving her explanation on her identity and who she is because it sounds basically identical to the same logic and reasoning that trans people use to say that, hey, I am the opposite sex or gender.
And that's why I want to share his perspective. I think it's kind of crazy how we've been able to convince America to be able to wrap our minds around a gender spectrum. However, we are not able to understand the nuances of ethnicity and identity and race. Okay, because again, when you're talking about just race as in black or white or Asian or Native American, yeah, like it's only going to boil down to that. But a lot of people are going to identify more so with their ethnicity group. So for example, Hispanics, or if you're Venezuelan, or if you're Chinese or from Taiwan, there's a lot of people that will identify more so with their specific ethnicity or their nationality versus just their race. However, in America, we like to make a lot of things just about race. That's what I mean by we like to oversimplify nuanced conversations, and then we like to overcomplicate facts. Again, we like to just make the conversation about man versus woman or male versus female. And for some reason, that has been such a hot topic the last couple of years. However, when it comes down to race and ethnicity, we've somehow just lumped everything into just black versus white. I want to show a little bit more on what Dr. Umar Johnson has to say as it relates to race.
Base that off the color of the skin?
No, it's ancestry.
So
It's ancestry. However, looking at people, right, 90% of the time would without question identify or help you identify the race. Because
so once again, a group of people who do not want to be judged by their race or by the color of their skin, but continuing to gatekeep on who can be black or who cannot be black based on the color of their skin. So reverse paper bag test.
when you're talking about race, you have to look at two criteria as far as I'm concerned. You have to look at your ancestral biological racial membership, right? Are you psychologically African, right? So I look at Yachty. You are biologically African, but are you psychologically African? Do you identify with your race of origin? Because guess what? You got people like Candace Owens. You got people like Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. You got people like YouTubian commentator Jesse Lee Peterson. They are biologically black. They do not psychologically identify with their people at all.
Again, what do you mean by identify with their people at all? Because I'm assuming that YouTubian Jesse Lee Peterson, Candace Owens, Clarence Thomas, Larry Elders, Black Conservative Perspective, I'm pretty sure they all understand and recognize the fact that they are black racially. I don't think any of them are confused about that. So what does it mean when you say you don't psychologically connect with your race?
A lot of African people don't identify with their race. Can we segue over one time? What about the mixed race Africans? My mama white, my daddy black. My mama black, my daddy white. Are you mixed race, sister?
Yeah.
You are? Which parent is black? My mom. Now, you know what's funny about that? You know what I was going to say a minute ago? But I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I was going to say you have Africans as light as her. And look.
Okay, so if he's going to say we have Africans as light as her, let's hear how he spins it and make it racial.
She is. But see, here's the question. She could pass if she wanted to.
You think so?
Let me ask you, Queen. And you said the father's black.
No, my mom.
Mom black. Oh, so you came out of black vagina. You black. But let me ask you this. How do you identify, though?
Like if someone asks
Yes.
I say I'm half black and half white.
Okay.
I'm half black. Ain't no such thing as half black. You don't mix white milk with chocolate milk and get half chocolate milk.
Now, I want to go a step further. Because you do have a Caucasian parent and an African parent. But in the world we live in, although they allow you to check mixed race and biracial on those boxes, as you know, the world don't operate that way. In your heart of hearts.
You don't think she could fly for white?
No, she could. That's why I'm asking her.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how do you identify?
Are you psychologically African?
There you go. Are you psychologically black? Do
Okay.
you identify as a member of the African race, or do you play it cool by staying in that fence zone I'm half and half?
And remember this is say
Why is it considered playing the fence or playing it on the safe zone to acknowledge both of your parents? Why is that considered playing it safe to just be aware of your ancestry? What does it mean again, what does it mean to be psychologically black? I'm just curious.
the place we want you to be very honest.
Growing up, my parents always really made sure that I knew I was black. They
Okay.
never wanted me going to school and was like trying to be more white. Like that. Shut up. So I think that made me like just identify with black people.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I want to.
How genuine do you think Dr. Umar's response is? Yes, indeed. Oh, you identify more with your black side. Like, why? Like, I don't even understand. It's like, you don't know how the girl was raised. A lot of parents want you to be aware of your background. Like, I did a video on Friday, like I said, from The Cut. There are several parents that made sure that their children were aware and exposed to both sides of their culture. What's wrong with that? Like, my dad always made sure that we knew that we were Vietnamese and black. Like, he never, ever just let us get away with just saying, oh, we're Vietnamese. And it's very painfully obvious that I can't just say that I'm black. And I think, again, that's very interesting because, like, he already wanted to point her out in the beginning about the fact that there are several African women that is of her shade. However, for some reason, he was in disbelief that she could identify as being a black woman. Like, it's just really confusing to me because, again, it's like there are several, like, whenever I used to point, again, I think I mentioned it earlier in the video, but I used to keep a list of all the biracial or multiracial celebrities back in the day because I feel like, again, a lot of people just assume that they're of one race, like even Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj have said several times in the past that she has Indian heritage. Like, she is from Trinidad. Trinidad has a huge East Indian population. So if I can find the clip, I'm going to go ahead and insert it.
Now, you were born in Trinidad, where there's a massive Indian population.
Yes.
Word on the street, and we're talking about Wikipedia, says that you have Indian heritage. Is that true?
My father is half Indian, yes.
And Indian food is big out in Trinidad.
Oh my
Some of my
gosh.
favorite is roti and doubles.
Oh my God.
What about you? What about you?
Curry chicken. That's what my father is like the best curry chicken cooker in the world.
So it seems like current day America, we just boil race and ethnicity down to what people look like. A lot of times people would mention their ancestry, cultural background, as well as how other people perceive you. However, I think that a lot of this information is subjective and it can change throughout time. And also it's all relative, because someone that may have a Black experience and does not appear that Black, for example, Meghan Markle, when she went to England, okay, when she became the Duchess of Sussex or whatever, she said she faced some racism. And I mean, in America, would we really look at Meghan Markle like she is of a Black woman? Maybe, maybe not. She is very ambiguous. So again, I think a lot of information and a lot of how people feel and all this things and stuff is just completely subjective and ambiguous and constantly changing. And it's really, at the end of the day, a matter of how you feel about yourself, how you perceive the world around you, and how you interact with the world around you. I hope to continue to have this conversation, and I'll talk again with you guys next time. Bye.